Sunday.
Rise and shine, South Plains. Good morning and thank you for joining us. It's Sunday, December 5th. I'm Eli Piero in for Angie Wynn.
And I'm meteorologist Adam Young.
Adam, there's like a dramatic shift happening,
Yeah.
so people should get out and enjoy things, right?
Yeah, definitely. Because today, temperatures are going to be nice. They're going to be comfortable. I mean, once again, we're talking about 20 degrees above average for this time of year. Then tomorrow we're going to be well below average.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be a roller coaster. Let's go and take a look at current conditions out there right now. Beautiful sunrise getting ready to happen here across the South Plains. Just a few higher clouds out there. Other than that, really here so far this morning, really nothing to write home about. I mean, 40 degrees, winds out of the northwest at 6 miles an hour. We're going to see those winds kind of transition a little bit more out of the southwest, and that's going to help warm us up, as well as it might get a little bit breezy as we go through the day today as well. In fact, as we head into the afternoon hours, I mean, you'll hit a high temperature day, about 78 degrees. We'll probably hit that right about 3 o'clock this afternoon. A few of those clouds trying to stick around. And, of course, the breezy conditions. The winds are going to kind of taper off for a little bit in the early part of the evening. And then, wham! Cold front's going to hit us, and I'll show you just how dramatic that change is going to be a little bit later on tonight. But there's your high temperatures for tomorrow. We're going to drop down about 30 degrees between today and the start of your next work week. Eli, we come back here in a few minutes. We'll talk about that cold front, and we'll talk about maybe another one on the way as well.
All right. Thank you, Adam.
This is the First Alert Forecast with meteorologist Adam Young.
Overall, pretty decent morning out there here so far. I mean, we're seeing temperatures in the 40s for the most part. Just a few higher clouds out there, really leading to a nice sunrise. And then, of course, temperatures now at the airport, like I said, 40 degrees, winds out of the northwest, 6 miles an hour. Winds are going to pick up a little bit here for today, but they're not going to be really dramatic. The dramatic winds will actually be a little bit later on this evening. We got a pretty decent cold front that's getting ready to come through. In fact, as we go into tonight, we'll be watching cold air advancing in from the north. Now, I want to point out one thing here. Look how wide this is. Only going from about Missouri, going over toward Denver, Colorado. There on this side of the Rockies. The Rockies is kind of trapping this cold air in. But it's going to rush down, and it's going to get out of here actually relatively quick. But we go into the tail end of this next week. The next storm system is going to come across, and, well, here's the next batch of cold air from Missouri all the way over to Nevada. So this one might be even a little bit more as we go into next weekend, beginning part of it next week. So we're watching this. Now, of course, the other question is going to be, are we going to see any kind of rain? And, well, this time of year, any kind of snow? Well, with this storm system here in the South Plains, we're going to be dry. Now, the southeast United States might actually have a severe weather outbreak here for the start this next week. So we'll be watching for those folks, but that is going to get on out of here as well. And then the next storm system, when it does come across, it might be bringing some precipitation relatively close. I mean, getting over toward about Albuquerque, Santa Fe, and then eventually it might try to get down to the South Plains. Right now, we're going to put a 10% chance of rain in the forecast for next Saturday. But of course, we still got a couple of days here to figure that out. And focus is going to be here on the next 24 hours. As, winds, once again, could be a little bit on the breezy side here for today. But as we go into tonight, winds will calm down, and then there's the cold front. Getting in probably, it's always going to get here faster what the models show. That's just that time of year. So I'm going to say maybe about 10 p.m. tonight, this thing's going to come steamrolling through. Winds are going to be very breezy, very windy behind it. Might even be enough to rattle your windows when you're trying to sleep later on tonight, and the cold air is going to filter in behind it. Tomorrow afternoon, I think the wind values here are a little bit low. I still think we're going to be a little bit on the breezy side, but we're going to be feeling that cool air. Tomorrow is going to be about 30 degrees cooler than what we're going to see here for today. But once again, it's going to get on out of here. But we go back to the future, and this time of year, everybody's asking, when's it going to snow? When's it going to start getting cold? Well, the overall pattern here this winter is actually probably going to be us being a little bit on the warm side. But Alaska just got done having their coldest November on record, and that cold air is going to have to go somewhere at some point. Even if it's just a cold blast or two, we'll be watching to see if it gets down into the lower 48 here over the next few weeks. But highs here for today, we're not talking about cold air here just yet. We got a few hours yet. 78 degrees here in the hub city. For tonight, though, into tomorrow morning, temperatures might be in the 20s across the northwestern corner of the South Plains. Your 7-day forecast looks like this. With that cold blast for tomorrow, we actually warm back up, Eli, but then our attention has to shift to next weekend and see what happens with that.
All right. Thank you, Adam.
This is the First Alert Forecast with meteorologist Adam Young.
Hey, overall today, we're going to be about 20 degrees above average. You know, we call it average because, well, we're going to have some days well above average this time of year and some days well below. And, well, that's going to be a tale of two different days we got coming up. Take a look at high temperatures here for this afternoon. 78 degrees here in the Hub City. Locations off the Cap Rock up in the 80s. 82 degrees for you folks out in Guthrie. But tonight, cold front's going to blast through. Temperatures are going to get pretty cold in the next 7 days. Well, see, tomorrow we're going to be well below average at a 47-degree high. We got your full forecast as well coming up here in a few minutes.
This is KCBD News Channel 11, Daybreak Sunday.
Good morning and welcome back to the second half hour of Daybreak Sunday. I'm Eli Fiero in for Angie Wynn.
And I'm meteorologist Adam Young.
Adam, a drastic change is coming. Yep. Should people start busting out their parkas?
You know, this time of year, you probably should already have them out because we're going to have days like this where we're going to be really warm today, and then tomorrow, not quite. Like, at all. It's going to be completely polar opposite. Let's go and take a look outside right now, though. Clear blue skies for the most part. Few higher clouds trying to hang around. At the airport, we're seeing a temperature of 40 degrees. Winds out in the northwest and about 6 miles per hour. As we go through the afternoon and into the evening hours, well, today we're going to get up to a high temperature of about 78 degrees. Probably going to hit that about 3 o'clock. It's going to be a little bit on the breezy and windy side, especially later on this afternoon. We get into the evening, the winds are going to calm down until we get to about 10 o'clock. It's somewhere between 10 p.m. and midnight tonight, and a front's going to come blasting through, and that front's going to actually have quite a bit of cool air with it. So today we're going to be about 20 degrees above average here for this time of year. Tomorrow we're going to be about 10 degrees below average for this time of year. So a 30-degree temperature swing with mostly sunny skies still. Not a whole lot of moisture or anything else with this front. So we're just going to get the cold air. And Eli, this cold air isn't going to have a lot of staying power. We're actually going to warm right back up to a few degrees above average by the time we get to Tuesday. But we're watching something for next weekend. Maybe some more cold air? Well, I've got details coming up here in just a little bit.
Thanks, Adam.
This is the First Alert Forecast with meteorologist Adam Young.
It's a pretty nice morning out there. Wind's going to try to pick up a little bit here for today, but that's actually going to help warm us up to temperatures about 20 degrees above average. So normally this time of year we'd be about 57, and of course we use normal loosely because we're always on a roller coaster ride here this time of year, and well, the next 24 hours is not going to be much of an exception to that. Right now we're sitting at 40 degrees at the airport. Winds out of the northwest at 6 miles an hour. Wind's going to try to shift just a little bit more out of the southwest later on today, get up to about 20-30 miles an hour, but the big dramatic wind change is going to be later on tonight. We'll show you that here in just a minute, but first we'll show you the cold air that's going to be behind that wind change. And one thing to notice, it only goes from about Denver to about Missouri here, and well, it's just going to kind of follow the Rockies right on down. And yeah, it's going to be pretty chilly for tomorrow, but it's not going to have a lot of staying power before it gets out of here. So even by Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're looking pretty good. The bigger change I actually think might come in time for next weekend, where the cold air is all the way from Missouri and you look out to Nevada and it's still out there. So it's going to be a little bit deeper, I think, and might even have a chance of precipitation with it as well. With this first wave here, this first front, we could actually see a severe weather outbreak across the southeastern United States, but nothing here on the South Plains, as we'll be high and dry. But the next system that'll come through by Friday, we'll have to watch. And, you know, we're already starting to see the models trying to give Albuquerque and Santa Fe something. So maybe by Saturday, we might get a little something here across the South Plains as well. So I'm going to put a 10% chance of rain in the forecast for next Saturday. We'll keep an eye on it. It is possible that just about everything will be to the north of us, but enough of a signal that we're going to go ahead and put a very, very slight chance of rain. So here's the dramatic wind shift. So for today, yeah, 20-30 miles an hour, but it's going to be fairly consistent with what we're used to here across the South Plains. It's just going to kind of gradually build and be like, you know, how it would normally be. But tonight, that front's going to come rushing down between about 10 p.m. and midnight. I think it'll be when it arrives here in this, the hub city. And then behind it, the winds, you're going to go from the wind staying still to winds 30 miles an hour in a matter of a couple minutes. And that's the kind of wind that's going to rattle your windows, and everything might keep you up a little bit later on tonight. And winds will try to calm down a little bit for tomorrow, but I think the winds will be just a touch stronger than what the model is showing right now. All right, so now we talk a little bit more about next weekend. Let's talk about the rest of the month. And of course, we're expecting December to be warmer than average, but Alaska just got done having its coldest November on record in a lot of locations out there. That cold air has to go somewhere. So I do think we are still going to see some good cold blasts. Highs here for today, 78 degrees in the Hub City. For tomorrow morning, right around freezing, maybe some 20s out there in your next 7 days. Shows, yeah, it will be cold for tomorrow, but then the rest of the week, not too bad, Eli. And I have a feeling you're going to tell us something else that's pretty good.
Here's a look at 7-day forecast. High temperature today, 78 degrees. It's about 20 degrees above average for this time of year. And then tomorrow, we're going to be, well, 30 degrees less and about 10 degrees below average for this time of year. So big dramatic wind shift on the way here later on tonight. And then after that, the cold air moves on and we're pretty even for the rest of the week.
Is it too early to say if it's going to be a white Christmas or not?
Way too early. But of course, the general trend is this right now is I'm doubting it, but it's still way too early.
All right. Thanks, Adam. Well, that's all our time. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget the 39th annual You Can Share Food Drive kicks off tomorrow and will last all week. Plus, if you plan on doing some holiday shopping today, please consider shopping local if you can. And remember, if the news breaks throughout the day, you can see it first at kcbd.com. Don't forget to join Case tonight for the news at 10. Have a great Sunday, everyone.